Fortunately, there's not a whole lot of new stuff, and we don't have to. Everybody out here is probably getting pretty used to dealing with MSA, so we're just going to touch on a couple of things that we've seen during the last year, a couple of things maybe to expect, and we have asked Mary with Right Rehab, and you're going to have to probably pronounce your last name so I don't really mess it up. Gahab, who handles a lot of their MSA issues, and so we're going to cover a couple of questions that we have been looking into as the seminar approaches here. First thing I wanted to ask Mary is I asked her if she could ask around a little bit and get some response on how the 400-week cap is affecting MSAs. As most of you know from prior seminars, I've been of the opinion that if you have an injury that's July 1st, 2013 forward that is capped at 400 weeks, that the MSA should be capped at 400 weeks. But I know that CMS has been inconsistent at best in approving those. The good news is I have seen the board has a order now, I'm assuming it's sort of like a form order that most of the judges should have, that they will issue to say that this is a non-catastrophic case. And they need to do that because the memo that came out says that, you know, it needs to be for life unless there's an order saying it's, you know, not, which in our case, it's very awkward to ask for an order for something that's non-catastrophic because it's non-catastrophic. It's like asking for an order to say the obvious. But they do have an order that, you know, it looks like in most cases what you can do is you can settle the case, go to a mediation once you reach that agreement. If it's one that you really do need to submit to CMS, then after the fact, once you reach the agreement, you can go to the board, obtain this order, and then submit it with the MSA to CMS, and they are approving those. Now, of course, here in a couple of days, we're going to have some changes to the 400-week cap. It's going to increase it for certain cases that may not be catastrophic, but there may involve a prosthesis or something that's going to need to be projected over life. So they'll have to do some adjustments with that. But Mary, do you want to give a little bit of feedback on what you've heard, or?
Yes, we've been hearing that the 400-week cap MSAs are getting approved. There were some issues. For the past year, since March 2018, we've had a new WCRC, which is the Work Comp Reviews contractor. And like with any change, historically with the review contractors, it's not always an easy transition for them. And we see, you know, things coming back on the MSA approvals that don't match the records and things like that. But over the past 6 to 9 months, we've been seeing improvements, and one of those is getting the 400-week cap MSAs approved.
Were you telling me that with spinal cord stimulators that they're now perhaps throwing in some removals as well? Have you heard that? Which it's expensive enough for a spinal cord stimulator and all the replacements and everything, but I guess now they're expecting some of them to fail, so they're also including a removal?
The revision. So you could be looking at the normal replacements of every 7 to 9 years, but also revisions in there as well. And they're supposed to be, you know, basing that on medical records. And then they've been projecting that they're going to, you know, they may project that revision will be needed as well.
And can you tell us what are the options if you have an MSA? Let's say there's 2 scenarios. Let's say you have an MSA, it comes back from the vendor, and the number shocks you. You know, it's $300,000. And so,